When scissor cutting the top of a men's haircut, there's a few things that are really essential that I want to go over. And you see I'm using a hair tool. This is my anti-static vent brush. I love this brush because it gets through all the knots and it's a great styling brush as well. Then you have the option of using my carbon comb. The carbon comb gets through the hair really easily as well. If you are more comfortable with using something like this, you want to get through those knots. You want to get through the hair as quickly as possible, but the easiest and first solution you need before you comb is 25 spray. 25 spray has 25 hair benefits in one. It's an amazing cutting lotion as well. So what you need to do, especially on someone who has longer hair, just give it a couple of spritzes, right? So it's going to keep the hair nice and moisturized, and you're going to get through those knots instantly. And while you're cutting, it's going to help keep the hair nice and damp. Then the next thing, super simple, but a spray bottle. Yes, this is a spray bottle. Many times I've noticed the hair gets way too dry sometimes, and it doesn't allow for the hair to really be an even consistency when you're cutting. All right, so make sure the hair is nice and moisturized. Also, a towel. I like to have a towel handy at all times in case the hair gets in the eyes, maybe some water's dripping. Just always have a towel handy. I learned that many years ago. Now for the actual cutting tools themselves, I would say you probably need these, obviously a hair cutting comb. Again, I do sell these. I have my own 7-inch hair cutting shears. These are Japanese steel. They're great, affordable shears for somewhat of, I would say entry level, but I even cut with these. So, you know, even as an advanced cutter. So shears, I have a feather razor right here. If you need a feather razor for any sort of thinning or thinning shears right here, okay? Thinning shears. So these are the tools that I use as a hair professional. Myself, I've been cutting hair for over 30 years. Now, cutting hair on top. And this video is primarily targeted towards hair professionals. If you're a barber, you're a hairstylist. If you're looking to cut hair at home yourself, then that's fine. This will be valuable. But overall, this is going to be a pretty in-depth tutorial on how to cut hair on top. Now, yes, this can be applied to women's hair as well. But today, I'm specifically focusing on, I would say, men's hair. So I like to approach hair cutting very simple. I'm not one of those guys who will sit there for 96 minutes and take my hand and finger and go like this. You know, like, okay, there's one little piece right there. Okay, let's get that out of the way. The next thing is, got to make sure your stance is proper. All right, next section, here we go. Okay. Oh, there it is. Look at that section. Look how neat that is. And then, 46 minutes on this side right here, just to do this, so it looks nice and pretty, and you're going, okay, like, that looks cool, but now what? All right, now, the next phase of this, there's a whole tutorial just on how to cut this one piece. Okay, we're going to take a little slice like this, all right? And next thing you know is, we're going to take this and the finger positioning, and it's literally 19 minutes have gone by before one cut has even been taken. Now, if you are that technical, you want to approach hair cutting like that, that's totally fine. Do it. There's, nothing wrong with that approach. But just keep in mind, if you're a hairstylist behind the chair, or you're a barber and you're doing haircuts every maybe 25 minutes or a half an hour, and your sectioning alone is adding on an extra 10, 15 minutes just to look nice and look pretty, well, maybe that's going to be best for you. If you, on the other hand, if you're charging $150 for a haircut and you have an hour, which is more along the lines of what I would do, then maybe you can do all this pretty stuff. But really what it comes down to is how efficient can you be when you're cutting? So I am not all about these 19 different sections, all right? I'm about, I'm kind of like, I apply the brute force to hair cutting, get everything done, don't be so flashy with it, be organized, but just cut the hair, get it done, and move on, all right? So my approach is the top, the corners, and the sides. The top, the corners, and the sides. The top is the top of the head, obviously. And one thing to keep in consideration, this is one thing that a lot of people, they get tricked by, is the hair doesn't grow straight up from the head, right? The hair doesn't grow straight up. Hair grows out from the head. And the way you find that out is when you comb the hair and you see the hair follicle sticking out from the scalp at a 90-degree angle or straight out, because no one's hair is growing straight up this way or doesn't grow back like this. So when you find that angle of where it's perfectly level, that's where you should be cutting the hair. And that's the approach that I take when I'm cutting, is I'm cutting it straight out from where it grows from the head. Now, in some situations, the hair will be pulled straight up, more towards the back here, because the hair is growing, it is growing upwards here. But as we get towards the sides here, the hair is growing out this way, right? The corners. The corners, the hair is growing out. And sides, it's out and then down. You have to take that into consideration when you're cutting hair. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a section. Let's just go eyebrow to eyebrow. Let's just get this out of the way, right? And what I'm going to do is basically give you a breakdown of what I like to do when it comes to cutting. Now, unfortunately, I'm not like 6'5", so I'm trying to keep this in the camera angle. But what you want to do is think of this as like a mohawk section. Now, depending on how you cut the back of the head will determine a lot of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the top back of the head right in through here. So let's take a section and I'm going to just push this hair out of the way, right? No need for fancy clips, just get it out of the way, set it and forget it. You can even do a little twist and push it out of the way. So we've got this area exposed, right? The back. So we have to at some point connect the back of the head into the top. And how do you go about doing that? Well, I like to do it vertically, because if you hold the section straight out like this and cut it horizontally, you're going to leave a line down and through here, and it's not going to blend. It's not going to follow the head shape. So what I like to do is once I get in this vicinity where I have to introduce the top back of the head into the top, what I will do is, and there's actually a shorter piece, I'm going to cut this following the head shape. Okay, I'm going to take my next section right into here, keeping within that parameter of the middle of the head. There's my guide, and I'm going to cut upwards. So I'm going one more section. I did one down the middle, one to the right, and one to the left. And there's the guide you can see. So next section, what we're going to do. Remember, we're not on the very, 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 very top yet. Time to continue the connection. Once we get here, we're officially in the new neighborhood, right? We moved to a new town, and we are in the actual top. So guess what? There's all the hair that was cut, and that little piece right there is connecting the dots into the top. So let that hair drop down there. This is the guide. We cut this already. Okay, and then this side right in through here, comb this out, and there's the hair right there. It needs to be cut. So you notice this was all cut already. I'm just using this as a guide. So we've actually now created a nice, full, seamless round shape right in through here with no harsh lines or nothing. If you were to hold this hair straight up, which I see a lot of barbers do, or hairstylists do, they hold it and they cut it straight up, and then they just leave a harsh line right in through here. So now let's do the next phase of this, which is actually working our way into the top. So, hello top, nice to meet you. We are right down the middle. I'm going to take a section from the vertical section that I cut towards the face, and now I'm going to hold this straight up like this, and there's my guide, and I'm going to cut straight across. Okay, let's turn this way so you can see. Straight across. And the reason I'm cutting this horizontally now is because we've already connected. We've made that introduction. And guess what? Now it's time to continue towards the front. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue all the way to the front of the head. Now, one thing I want you to pay close attention to, I see this all the time. You see this? What is this? It's like a chicken wing, right? It's my elbow, my arm. So, first thing I see is people drop the hand down, they drop the elbow down, and they're cutting like this. That's not consistent. That's lazy. That's not showing any structure. What I like to do is comb the hair straight up, make sure my arm is as even as I possibly can. Obviously, you might strain yourself, but if you raise your elbow up, you're changing your cutting angle. Building graduation, removing, creating layering. Even, okay? Even Steven. Take one little slice from the last section, and we're gonna go straight across. And keep in mind, notice that I'm staying within the parameters as best I can, being that it's on the top of the head. Remember, top, corners, and sides. Here we go. Take another slice right in through here, and we're just pushing this hair out of the way. Now watch how fast, and I'm using the fine teeth of the comb as well. Look how fast I'm able to cut this without having to do 86 sections. Okay, get that out of the way. There it is. And I'm working towards the front. And we're probably going to take one last section right here in the front. And I want you to pay close attention to something. So yes, the hair grows straight out, but watch this. So I'm going to cut this just like that. And I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to finish, and I'm going to give you the best tip ever after that. So we've got the top done. Now guess what? Hello corners. Nice to meet you. The corners is where the hair rounds out, or the head rounds out. So what we're going to do is comb this straight out. And guess what? There's the top piece right there. And you see that nice little, that longer piece? That's the corner. We're going to get rid of that. Now, some people may say, oh, I want to cut, I like to leave my men's haircuts square. Well, that's fine. But guess what? As your haircuts grow out, within a week and a half, it's not going to look right, right? It's not going to have that same balance. It's not going to grow out properly because the hair is being cut in an unnatural way. You're leaving those corners. So you're leaving that weight. It may look good right there on the spot, but then chances are, as it grows out, it may not look good. Now, are there situations where the hair needs to be cut on a square shape? Yes, depending on the look that you want. Of course, with hair cutting, you've got round, square, triangular. 3 different shapes. Now, let's go down to the very, very sides here. Let's turn this way. Okay, we've got the top done, the corners done, and here we go. The very, very sides. There it is. Okay, now we're going to push this out of the way. And yes, I am taking sections. I am trying to stay organized, but I'm literally just flowing through this. I can do this whole side of the head faster than it takes somebody to do 9 sections and make it look nice and pretty. And there we go, we're done. Now what I like to do is I will go back and I will cross-check, right? I'll go in this way. I'll sometimes do a horizontal cross-check. I'll do a vertical cross-check. And what I suggest doing is don't be afraid to move the hair around, okay? Push the hair out of the way. Give yourself a clear opening. And this way you're not cutting, hair that you shouldn't be cutting off. Right? It gives you a much clearer picture of what needs to be cut, and you just be aggressive with it. It's about condensed cutting. It's about getting the job done efficiently and not spending 86 hours. And look how nice that is. A perfectly feathered, layered haircut on this side right into here. Now, let's do the little top secret thing that I was telling you about. It's my money move, and this is the move that really helps bring things together, okay? And I only really did this one side of here, but it applies to the other side. Top, corners, sides. Top, corner, sides. So we're going to take a mohawk section right down the middle. And how do you gauge that? Well, just think of the nose, right? You're taking a section that's basically, think of it as the nose. Now watch this. When I comb this hair straight out, actually I'm going to turn this mannequin head around this way. When I comb this hair straight out like this, or straight up, this makes it a lot shorter, and you may think to yourself, well, whoa, what's going to happen? And then you may end up cutting all of that hair off. So if I bring this straight up, I'm over-directing this, and then look at all this hair that we cut. If I were to cut this, it would be a disaster. Now watch. This is it right here. Look at how I'm combing. Watch what's happening to the hair. Right? There. Now it's straight out. Now it's straight out. And there is just a little piece of hair that needs to be cut. And there it is, right there. Just that little piece. Okay, so we're following how the hair grows out from the head. And then what I like to do is I'll bring everything up to this one section right in through here. And if I see any pieces, or if you see any pieces that are a lot longer, then chances are, like this side, for example, I didn't cut this side. Watch what's going to happen. There's some longer pieces right there because I didn't do this side. So this is the true test to show you balance, right, in your haircut, to show you is everything blended, is everything, connected. Yes, like this is perfect because I did this side already. So then what I'll do is I will check, right? I will check to see what else needs to be done. So what's really important is making sure we're even Steven. So I'll take the hair, and this side's gonna be longer, obviously, because I didn't cut this side, but I'll go like this, and I'll check for the balance, because guess what? Sometimes the client will actually do that right there in the chair, and they're gonna go, yeah, this is like 3 inches longer on this side, and you're like, oh, okay. So they're gonna call you out right then and there, or you're gonna be able to see the work you did. And this is what's really important, is balance, because if your haircut's perfect, you were even Steven the whole time, then you're gonna have a really, really, really good result. Now also, what I'm checking for is I'm checking for the density. If the hair is too thick, if I'm like, you know what, maybe I think I need to thin this out, or if the client complains, or you as a viewer say, oh, my hair is too thick on one side, then what I'll do is I will use either one of two tools. I'll go in with a thinning shear. I usually always do this on dry hair only, to be honest with you, because I'm able to feel the bulk the best. When the hair is damp or the hair is wet, it actually makes the hair lay a lot kind of smoother and closer to the head, and it camouflages the bulk. So when I dry the hair, right, I'll be able to see. But let's just say you dry the hair fully, and I'll go in and I will literally feel that bulk, and I'll just go in and use the thinning shears like this. Do it freehand, no need again for the 86 sections, and just be aggressive with it. Another thing you want to do is if you want to add a little more texture to the hair, go in and do some slide cutting, right? You can do this when it's wet, do some point cutting. Like the freedom is there. Once you get comfortable with utilizing shears and how shears work and what it's going to do, then you're going to have a lot more of a fun time when you're cutting hair, and the results are going to take you from that. Especially if you're a professional. Do you want to be charging $70 for a men's haircut? Yeah, who wouldn't? It all comes down to skill. And I can vouch for this because after 30 years and thousands upon thousands of clients that I've cut, celebrities, models, high-level executives, influencers, the whole thing, right? The reason they always wanted me to keep cutting their hair is because I did such a thorough job. And I put my heart and soul and my passion into this, into the work that I did. And it showed, right? So if you want to scale yourself up and scale your skills and do those haircuts that you're like, oh man, I wish I can, how can I get these pieces to come down like this? Or how can I create, a celebrity haircut? Or how can I get that feathered look just like this? This is it, practice. I even have courses. If you go to TheSalonGuy.com and you just scroll down, you'll see my online courses. I believe it's like $60. You can pay $60 and learn step by step how I actually cut hair. Women's haircuts that I would be charging $300 in person to train and $300 for a client to pay me. You can learn how to do that for $60. You can make tens of thousands of dollars by learning a haircut. Same thing with men's haircuts. You're going to spend $60 on, going to a dispensary or buying 3 beers in one night and getting wasted or whatever it is, happy hour, but you're not going to invest $60 for your career and your craft. So TheSalonGuy.com, and if you want to purchase any of my products, shop.TheSalonGuy.com and use code YouTube20, which is an exclusive code I have here for you, 20% off. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Do you like this technical stuff? I hope you do, because this is all my heart and soul, my passion, sharing it with you all here on YouTube. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.